Previously on Food Biker.
Hello, Food Biker.
I mean hold your own Food Biker rally and show the audience firsthand what a motorcycle rally is all about.
A third of this bottle is maple syrup. All grade A, all local sugar makers.
Wow, that's great. You guys like food?
Yeah.
Motorcycling?
Yeah.
Here's my arm.
All right.
Can you twist it? Oh, gee, this is a tough sell. Before riding over to Jesse's, Carina shows me her BMW F bike. Is this your first bike?
Third bike.
So this is your third bike?
Honda Rebel,
Uh-huh.
F650 GS, and now this one. So I was at the dealership and I was bored because I was waiting for them to service my GS. So I sat on a few bikes and then I ended up test riding a bike. And then I started talking with Brian and Shira about backroads. And then they said, well, you might want to look at the F800, and because I test rode an R and that was a little too sporty for me. So and then I had actually a guest of mine that came to the inn and she rode exactly this bike. So I test rode her bike and I came back and I'm like, this is a really nice bike.
So are you glad you made the decision to keep moving up? This is the most power you've had, right?
Yes, it is.
So a lot of people say that moving back, it's very hard to have a bike with a lot of power and then go back to something with lower power. Do you think that's the case?
I don't know. I've only moved up, so I don't know if I'll switch again. But if I switch again, I'll probably go back to the GS just because where I live.
So now for a GS off-roading?
You can go off-roading. I don't off-road.
Now can this go off-road?
Well, we were just on a dirt road today, but it's not meant for off-road at all.
So when we go over to Jesse's, are we going on a dirt road?
Yeah, we will be.
Okay, you gotta go easy with me.
Yes.
I've got kind of slick tires back there. I'm thrilled to see that more women are riding than ever. So what can you do to kind of encourage other women to ride?
Well, I think there's been a big change just how bikes are made, that there are a lot of them out there that have either been lowered or they're making them lower to make it easier for women to, ride a bike. I think there are more models out there that are just smaller CCs.
Okay.
I don't know, it's just becoming easier, I think, in general for women. There are gear out there now for women specifically.
That are not just, okay, I'm just gonna wear something that's oversized. So there's a little bit of fashion stuff in there with function, kind of marrying it together.
Yep.
Now,
and I think the more women see more women ride, it just becomes more, it's okay.
That's fantastic.
So, and I...
Let's check out what Jesse's got in store for us over at his farm plot.
Fantastic, we'll do that, I'll lead the way.
Sounds good.
All right.
Cool, let's ride. It was Friday afternoon, and riders were obviously already thundering up Route 100 to get a jump on the weekend. Probably took almost as much time for us to get to Jesse's farm as it did for us to put on and take off our riding gear.
Just out of the pumpkin patch. Seth, nice to meet you.
Hey, the pleasure is mine.
Let you take Seth around.
All right.
Sounds good.
This is it.
You've got a lot of vegetables here. My God.
Too many.
Carina headed back to the inn as she needed to start checking in the rally riders. Meanwhile, Jesse showed me around his farm. Imagine simultaneously doing the chef and the sustainable farm thing. Well, that's Jesse for you. Talk about farm to table. The vegetables couldn't be more local if you tried. So I guess the frost kind of hit, but I'm assuming it still looks like you got a ton of stuff here.
Got a lot of stuff left. Just beginning. So we'll get the green tomatoes, which we'll be serving tomorrow night at the dinner. Okay. Sometimes the frost will come in and it'll wipe everything out, but I try to get in and pick what I can. Okay. Some stuff will change, in the dark. Tomatoes, the green ones, the restaurants will buy them for the fried green tomatoes.
No kidding. Okay.
These are still left. This is called the Blankofchen.
Look, it even kind of
It's from Germany, and it means lots of little yellow blonde girls.
Let's try that again. All right, do you mind if I give it a shot?
Nope.
All right. Oh, wow, that's fantastic.
Party in your mouth.
Party in your mouth, but would you harvest this normally now?
I get it sooner. I've been so busy cooking at the restaurant that it's been tricky that's why you see a lot of tomatoes that kind of rotted.
So how do you do both? You're cooking at the inn and you're doing this. I mean, it looks like you're really doing a farm to table kind of thing
that this couldn't get more local, huh?
And I supply to probably 5 or 6 more restaurants in town.
You're kidding?
Mm-hmm. That
Okay.
gets a little tricky. Plus we have 3 CSA members that get a nice basket each week. They buy in at the beginning of the season, give us a little money up front so we can get seeds and get things going.
I'm assuming this is not your houses here. This is...
No. I actually live about a mile down the road. I'm renting a 110-acre farm.
Holy cow!
This new gentleman had bought the place and he did not want me to farm there, so I went out and I talked to Kip Adams from the Adams family farm.
Okay.
And he suggested I rent this plot from him.
Okay.
So I went ahead and did it. And this was an old goat field, so it had all the goat manure in the barn here, and I don't use any pesticides at all. I do all organic, and all the seeds were non-genetically modified, and I can guarantee you that.
So what was it that made you decide, hey, I wanted to do this?
Well, originally I worked in Boston in a lot of restaurants, but I was a waiter and I was a bartender, and some of the chefs there really got me into the heirloom tomatoes.
I know why.
Exactly.
I think a lot of people know why.
So I started growing them on a small scale, and then I'd always show up at the party with all these different colors, and I was the hit of every single party, so I figured, you know, why not do it a little bigger? And then a little bigger.
So next party that you go to, make sure you bring some heirlooms.
That's right.
And maybe a little bit of alcohol or something. It's always appreciated. So what other vegetables do you grow here?
We've got like 4 different kinds of kale, 5 different kinds of chard. We're growing about 10 kinds of carrots, 5 kinds of beets. We do edible flowers, nasturtiums, calendula.
Ooh.
I have fennel down there. We did peppers, like 10 different kinds of winter squash. A lot of patty pan squash early in the summer, but those are gone now.
What are you moving into right now?
Right now I'm pulling all the beets, the carrots, the winter squash I already pulled. I've got about 60 pumpkins I'm pulling out of here.
So you're going from fruits instead to roots and gourds.
Exactly. So this is the nasturtium that I like to put on my salads.
So this is definitely edible.
Definitely.
I am definitely going to eat this right now. Oh my God, it's sweet and it's peppery.
The seeds, actually, after it goes to seed, you can use that as a pepper substitute also.
Well, Jesse, thanks for showing me all this.
You're
And
welcome.
obviously we're gonna have some fun in the kitchen.
Food Biker is a part of this complete breakfast.
Best salad ever.